Well, thank you very much. This is the part 2 of my interview with Maryann. Maryann got infected with, what was it again?
Arteries and veins malformation.
Arteries and vein malformation. And now we're going through the part 2 when, someone came and said, you know what, your hand should not be amputated. I think we can look into it again, and we will now look into the trip to India. So when this Olori came, you were talking about the Olori that came.
Okay, she came and she said that we should contact another doctor, probably leave the general hospital and go to a private hospital. So we contacted a doctor, and funny enough, the doctor that happens to be a specialist with arteries and veins in Nigeria did my second surgery. So when she contacted
what was the name of that hospital? Can you remember?
No, the hospital is General Hospital Ikeja.
Okay.
So when she called, she said there's a particular doctor that is the best. So she called the man, and she explained my experience, and the man said he has already worked on me, that there is nothing that could be done on that hand. So the Queen Irene said, okay, there's no need me staying in Nigeria, that I should forward my pictures and scans to a Fortis hospital in India so that they could go through it and give us a feedback. So the doctors in India went through the scans. They went through the scans and they gave me a feedback that it will cost 4.5 million naira to correct the malformation. So I went back to Instagram and told the lady, and that was when the story got round and people started donating so I could go for the recorrection surgery.
Okay, so once again, we'd like to say a big thank you to all the Nigerians that donated, as at the time that Mary cried out, that she needed that help to travel to India. And we confirmed, we saw all the pictures, you were in there, we saw a lot of what was done. So, from the time you left Murtala Mohammed Airport on your way to India, just give us a bit of background.
So I was supposed to go with my brother. So on getting to the embassy, they said since it's just my hand, I can manage alone. So I just said, okay, my parents were like, no, I shouldn't go alone. I will not be able to cope for 4 months. And I said, no, I'll go. Since it's just my hand, I will try and be fine. So I went and I got to India, and they took me to my hotel. Then they started off with my first surgery, which was to correct the malformation. It took 6 or 7 hours for them to correct the malformation. After correcting the malformation, I got infected. Because while cooking, because I cook and do everything myself. While cooking one particular day, because I don't have feelings for my hand, I don't feel it. So I put on the gas. I wanted to boil water. So I didn't know that my bandage caught fire already. So because of the ointment that was rubbed around my bandage, it got really big, and with fear I quickly dipped my hand inside one dirty water. So with all that, my hand got infected. So they had to treat that infection for a while before going for my second surgery.
Wow. While you were in India, what other process after the first treatment, trying to rectify it, and were they able to do that, or what happened?
After my first surgery, it was solved, but due to the fire out that happened, it got badly infected. I think I have the graphic picture on Instagram. So it got badly infected, and the fear of me going ahead with the amputation was now high because the site wasn't nice. I had pus all over my hand, everywhere. So the doctor said, okay, let's give it another time, let's chill and wait for like a week. If it's fine, then we can carry on with the second surgery. So the second surgery was the toughest of them all. It was very hard for me as at that time because they did a groin flap, attaching my stomach to my hand. So they covered as at that time for like a month plus, my hand was stitched inside my stomach and my upper flesh was covered with the hand. So I was basically this way for a month. I did everything. Those were the toughest times of my surgery days. My hand stitched to my stomach. I could not walk properly. My groin were aching me. I don't sleep comfortably. And there was a time I fell from the bed and I forgot my hand was attached to my stomach, and I wanted to quickly place my hand on the floor, and with force I removed, and I started bleeding that particular day. So that was the toughest stage of my surgery. My hand stitched to my stomach was the toughest of them all. So after that I did my second surgery, removing my hand from my stomach and cutting, like trying to fix it to get to this fine face, because it was basically everywhere. So they had to shape it to this stage. So that was the third surgery they did. And so,
how long did you spend in India?
3 months plus.
3 months plus.
Yes.
So while you were in India, these surgeries were going on. Those back home, I'm sure, were high spirit or low spirit, or what was the communication wise between you, dad, your brother, your mom? Because now they are far away from you. You're on your own with the Creator, with the Jehovah there. That is the only person. We know there are Nigerians there. I don't know whether any Nigerian were able to visit you while you were in India.
No.
Well, as at that time, just give us the background, with the communication line with those back home, because now you've been away from there. You're now on your own, no man's land. Whether you will come back or you don't come back, I'm sure those are from those little time that you said was a tough time in that hospital while you were being treated.
I stopped telling my parents because, like, after this, I told you I had the fire accident. I didn't tell my parents. I'm sure my dad is even surprised hearing it here for the first time, because if I should tell them, they'll be scared, they'll be worried. So I ended up not telling them some seriousness, but I just told my mom that with the look of things, I might be coming home with my hand, like removing my. So my mom said, okay, even if they remove the hand, just bring the arm back home.
Wow. Can you pause there? Can you see how tough, the whole family was going through? The mother was saying, even if they remove hands, if they amputate it, that she must bring back that hand. But we can give praises that hand came back alive all the way from India with a full hand, even though she still need. Maybe you just want to show those that are watching, what she's going through is a tough one. As you can see there, she's really going through she needs these 3 fingers, is bent like that. She cannot straighten them. We're hoping that those that are watching and those that will be watching these later on, someone out there can still continue to support her, no matter how small. If you've got a friend, your connection, your network in any of the hospital that can at least give her free kind of a massage, on those hands, please don't hesitate to do that. Also, if you have, no matter how small or how little, the account details has been posted, on the page there. That is the account detail that she has been using before she was traveled, where the Nigerians helped her. And we would like to say a big thank you to the first donor that have paid in, and we can confirm 20,000 naira out there. Thanks for bringing there. Thank you very much, my president. I know you'll be also helping hand, at one stage in time as well, because you are always there when it comes to the health and education of Nigerians in this country. We are saying this is the festival time. We know there are millions of cases out there, but this particular one came to my notice, not because I've been in Nigeria, I've been following, and I did an interview with her on Skype, but we could not get, I'm seeing this for the first time like this, maybe just looking at it on the Instagram. So your mom said, Omo, Toba, you are panye. You speak Igbo.
Yes.
Translate that to those that maybe might want to understand that. Let me, you can't speak Igbo. Your Igbo is gone. You they eat apple. You like eba. Okay, what the mother was actually telling her is, if they remove this hand, make sure it doesn't slip in India. That is a tough one. We might be laughing about it now, but Anne was going through a tough time. Tell us a little bit more on this India, because now you are away from Nigeria, no man's land. How are you coping? Food. I know India, they eat almost similar with Africa. But how are you coping on your own? Because if your younger brother had gone with you, all you could have been doing is just, concentrating on this, infection that has affected you. But now you're on your own. Nobody visited you. Not even one Nigeria in India. That's strange. What were you going through?
It was difficult because I had to do a lot by myself. And in India, they don't stay long in the hospital. My thought from home was I was going to stay the whole of the months in the hospital. But they don't stay long in the hospital. After a while, you'll be taken back to a hotel until it gets to your next surgery.
Before you bring you back to the hospital.
Bring you back to the hospital. So I basically just stayed in the hospital for like 4 days. Those are the...
Out of the whole kind of 3 months.
Yes, no, 4 days for first surgery, another 4 days for, so after that they take you back to your hotel. So I go from my hotel to the hospital every day for dressing of my wound. I did everything, and I cooked, I bought things, everything by myself.
Okay, we give praise that you were able to make that trip to India with the help of the Nigerians and also the Olori that mentioned that, Han, don't sign that consent form. I would like to say a big thank you to her. The message today is, let us help Han. 1 naira, 1,000 naira, 1 pound, $1, 1 lira, whatever the exchange rate is, the account details is there. That's the account number she's been using. Let us try to put in our own little mite, they say, every little help. Also, the hashtag, if you're sending money to her, save
Mary's hand.
So you might want to put that in, because she will be telling us back, later on, those that have sent money to her, so as a kind of appreciation and accountability as well. Now you've been back in Nigeria, and I'm sure when you're back, even before you travel, people wait at your house. I'm sure some people have moved out because they'll be thinking, hey, this particular thing that happened to Mary, even though you understand it, this is not something, village. But somebody must have moved out of your area thinking maybe they'll be infected as well. I'm sitting next to you. I don't see anything wrong with it. But now that you've been in Nigeria, just tell us, what stages and what you've gone through, because I really want us to end this, in just about 10 minutes so that those that will be watching it later can have good time, to watch it and not get, bored.
I've been going through... At first, I've been trying to deal with stigma because I'm looking very different. Even before it all started, a lot of people suggested it was spiritual, I should go for this, I should go for that. But within me, I knew it was not spiritual. I knew it was a health. There was something that needs to be solved. I knew it was not spiritual. So when I came back, I'm looking way different. There's no way I'm going to walk around and people don't keep staring at me and people don't talk. People keep insisting that I should go for deliverance, that since the spirit is still inside me and stuff like that. But I've been trying to cope. But it has not been easy. I've been trying to cope.
Wow. Okay. Just before we bring this interview, I would like to say a big thank you to everyone that is watching. there are thousands, hundreds of people that are watching. Share the video. What were you doing prior to all these, incidents that took off in 2014? What were you actually doing?
I was a student of Nigerian Institute of Journalism, and I also am a fashion designer. So all those had to go on pause because I stayed, let's say, 2 years. I spent 2 years of my life in the hospital.
Okay. What now? This is the time I want you to look at that camera. I will leave it to your face alone and tell Nigerians out there what you want them to help you with. We know financial wise is everybody's, not just you alone. Everybody always needs financial assistance. Even people living outside the country need financial assistance. But the message I want you to pass on is, what do you need right now to get you going?
Okay, to everyone listening to me, you've all helped me before, and we can still do it again. I'm back, to the glory of God. I'm better. I'm free from AVM. I get to keep my arm. I'm no longer having the disease. I'm fine. But my life has been on pause for 2 years. I need to carry on with my life. I need to go back to school. I need to be empowered, so I would have something to lay on. I don't want to be a total liability. I'm not a lazy person. I want to get something doing so I can assist myself in life. Also, anyone who could render hospital assistance, I need to go for physiotherapy. I need to start using my hand. I need prosthesis to add to this place so this thing can go flat, and I still need this flesh. This is my stomach. It still needs to go flatter than this. I still need medical checkup. I still need my drugs. I still need a whole lot of things to. It doesn't end here. I still need a lot of things to go on with my life. I still need to go back to school. I also want to be empowered, so I won't end up a total liability. So anyone listening there, you can help me. God bless you all.
Well, I'm sure you've been able to get the message. Maryann, the details, how you can reach out to her. We've left the contact number. You can always call her, later on. She's on WhatsApp. She's very active. So all these, on Instagram, the funny, and people that are watching it that wasn't even, you're very beautiful, you're very good looking, but those that are not seeing this, other side of you, but they're just looking at, maybe they're not really, I know some of your videos doesn't show your hand, and they're thinking, what's wrong with her, but she's very funny. Where did you get all these cartoon? Maybe one day we might do a cartoon, and you can blow, like Nigerians, everybody wants to blow. How did you come about this cartoon? Is it because Instagram have all these, or is it something in your own thoughts?
No, it started in India. My first video I did was in India, and the response I got encouraged me the more. I was bored, I was alone, there was nobody with me. Like I said, I did everything by myself. So this particular day, I wasn't doing anything. I said, let me just do something to cheer myself up, and I did those videos, and the feedback I got was encouraging, and a lot of people asked me to continue. So
okay, let's pause there. If you also want to quickly say a big thank you to N Foundation. The president of N Foundation, Jamil Eniola, is based in the United Kingdom. We've been here already with a very massive project. At the beginning of October, the message is the N Foundation will donate towards your further medical bill. Let us talk later in the evening. Maybe you might want to pass a message on to Jamil, as he's watching you all the way in United Kingdom, the N Foundation.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you, sir. I'm really grateful.
Well, this is what we are saying. We need you all to continue to support Maryann. I just want to bring that in before we wrap up this live stream. It's been very beautiful. I'm so impressed, with not myself, You know, I don't want anyone to thank me for nothing. I'm just doing what I love doing, and I will continue to do that. The good, the bad, the ugly, we will bring it to you. But the most important thing is those of you that are watching, you know, and supporting, you know, not today. We've seen a lot of support from background, you know, since we've been in the country, and while we're also in outside, you know, back in UK. I'm going to bring Mary's dad as well, and also the younger brother. The three of them will be sitting now, and then, you know, they will pass their last message before we bring, you know, this live stream, you know, to end. If dad wants to sit down that side, I know that is a bit, dad can sit down there. You sit down there, you go, and, you know, so that I want dad to also pass the, you know, let's start with dad. Your message to the Nigerians that are watching you right now before we finish this live coverage.
I thank you Nigerians. I thank God the people who helped me to contribute 1 naira, 2 naira, 5 naira. I thank God all of them in Jesus' name. When daughter sick, the father sick, the mother sick. Oh, I thank God Almighty as He touch all of you people to perform good to my daughter. God will perform good to all of them in Jesus' name. Whatever in the touch hand will be progress in Jesus' name. Whatever in the put leg will progress in Jesus' name. I don't know what I can say again. All your children will receive life. Will receive good life in Jesus' name. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, thank you very much, Dad, for you know, your final word there. That is Mary's younger brother, Bob as well, Bobby. You have been the strong bone behind. You know, I'm sure Dad sometimes will feel down, and you pick it up as well and just kick it in. You could have run away as well and say, this one will happen now. Not, but you've decided to stood with the family as well. What will be your message to those that are watching you right now as well?
I want to say a very big thank you to everybody out there for, you know, Instagram people and all that, for supporting us on Facebook and everywhere around the world. You guys are very, very grateful. I know she has been back. She's back again from India. I really want your help again once more, please. And please, we've done all we ought to do. We've tried our possible best. We've, you know, tried as much as we can in doing whatsoever. Yeah, even me, I've paused so many things just because of her post. I always want to like encourage her every time, not to let her think. I always stay with her. Even people knows us around the street and everywhere. They know us as 5 and 6 and your brother. Sometimes they even think I'm a fiancé and all that. I really say thank you very much. I want you to help us once again. Help us this time. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Well, that is the younger brother there, and we will bring this live coverage to the end of it. Once again, massive thank you. I'll let that go, and you can go as well. You know, thank you once again, Dad. No, let us sit down. Thank you once again, Dad, for coming as well. And we'll also want to say a big thank you to all the Nigerians, those that are watching live now, and those that will be watching later on. Let us continue. The hashtag is
Save Mary's hand.
That will be the hashtag that we're going to continue to use. We want to make sure this hashtag travels around. She can help herself to help the next person, and that is what she's saying. You know, let us set her up. You know, let us get her going so that she can also do the next thing for the next person as well. And thank you once again, Mary, for coming down, you know, for me to grant, you know, this special interview. And to be honest, you don't know how I'll appreciate this, because you could have said, you know what, you know, let's just leave it like that. And I want you to continue to believe that there's hope. I've told you that before, and that will be the message. Once again, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. Next time, watch out for the location. How many people know Lagos properly? Check the Facebook anytime. Olayomi Koiki, hashtag Lagos, Nigeria.